Will you let your heart, your soul, your love go deeper and pray with me and for me? As we enter into this time of connecting to the voice of God within, that what that voice needs for us to hear internally and through my words will be exactly what we hear. I invite you, if you're comfortable, to put your hand over your heart so that you can feel the rhythm of your heart and your breath. Letting your body connect to the sound of the gentle music. Letting your breath in just as it is fill you. Let your breath out just as it is. Help you settle into this present moment. Right here. Right now. Choosing to surrender. Choosing freedom over fear. Breathing in grace, breathing out grace. In your heart mind, I invite you to say these words. I am an expression of God's love. Right here, right now, let those words sink deeper. You are an expression of divine love, divine heart, divine mind. And so wherever you are, wherever we are, God is. Love is. Love is the isness of our being. And in that deep, soul-filling space. Please deepen your breath and your awareness of this present moment, just as it is. And come fully back into this sacred space that is holy because we make it holy together. I'm going to try not to cry. But there are no guarantees. This week, I had a reminder of how fragile and temporary these human lives of ours are. And this time, I had that reminder with a slight remove. It was not my own fragility that I was made aware of, but someone I love dearly was heavy at heart of someone whose life was at a precarious and potentially life-ending moment. And the details of that story are not mine to tell. But here's what I can share. Because as I was holding my beloved's heart in mine and feeling his heaviness in mine, the voice of God whispered in the voice of Mary Myers, who sent me the perfect little reading for me to help my beloved kind of work through some words that he had left at the baggage claim that he was having a hard time with, and those words were God and prayer. So as his heart was circling the situation that he was holding, he knew what that experience felt like. As a receiver at different times of his life, what it felt like to have somebody holding him in that love, in those thoughts. But boy, the word prayer was really tripping him up. Who am I praying to? What is that thing that everybody calls God that people fight about? I don't want any of that in this situation. So Mary sent me this. Comfort. Being at peace is not always easy for me, especially when my loved ones or I face a challenge. When I cannot hold the high watch for myself or others because I am too close to the situation, I know I can give all my concerns to God and I am comforted. With a renewed sense of peace comes the realization that the love and comfort I receive from God are more powerful than any situation I may face. Times of adversity will come and go, but God is always with me and my loved ones. Holding the high watch is prayer. We still had a lot of unpacking to do about the word God, and I'll get to that. But that idea of what it means to hold the high watch, to be the person on the lookout for protection, for safety. To picture this situation of his beloved, that everyone in that closer inner circle was holding the high watch for that person. No matter what the outcome ultimately might be, they had circled her, holding the high watch. And then every person involved in that holding was held. There were circles and spirals, encircling and folding. The love of God enfolds us. We are the love of God. Holding the high watch made sense to my beloved as he was holding the high watch for his inner circle. There is a lot of baggage sometimes in the religious traditions of our childhood, some of those woundings that we have over experiences in church. What does that word God mean? I don't know. Definitively, it is that mystery. It's that aliveness. And if the word God trips you up sometimes, what word works for you? Love is the word that works for me almost always. Heart connection. In this little booklet that Mary then gave me so I could come back to that little reading on comfort. Heart connection. I am the love of God in expression. I make you trip yourselves over when we say the end of the prayer of protection, as we are unrepeatable expressions of the divine. But we are. The love that is alive in us, no matter the name, is what helps us hold that high watch and circle those hearts that are touching ours closely and those hearts that are around the world. When people reach out to others with love and compassion, a powerful spiritual connection is made. The spirit of love, of mystery, of oneness flows out through those holding the high watch to uplift the spirits of people in need of comfort and caring. We trust that there is then a response from the Spirit within the ones being prayed for as well, even if they seem not to respond. I added that part because it's the piece that trips me up. Well, I've been praying for this and da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Oh, right. Trust. This heart connection blesses those holding the high watch and those held in the high watch because of grace. Another word that can be really hard to unpack. What does grace mean? There are beautiful songs about amazing grace. Lift your sails to grace. Here is a passage. Grace is the love of God, of mystery, of the universe, that is constantly moving in and through all life. It's that love that is constantly moving. Divine love is a gentle yet powerful life force, a life force, a life force, a source of life that nourishes me, refreshes my relationships, and heals me. Whenever I feel I can no longer move forward, I am lifted and carried along by love. Have any of you ever hit a moment in your life when you didn't feel like you could move forward? Yeah? Am I the only one? We hit those moments. We hit those moments when we are stumped. We don't know where we're led. And I'm speaking from me, so the we includes me. Maybe it doesn't include you, but I get myself into a downward spiral of, I have got to figure this out. I have got to figure this out. So that leads me in a little backdoor way to don't take things personally. What is the difference between I must do it and I surrender? Yeah, you could feel it because there was a in the room. I surrender. When we hold the high watch for each other, we surrender to the fact that the divine, that love and grace are holding us. I do not know the way to healing, but I trust that you do. It is not our own efforts. We're in partnership, sure. We show up and we do our best to listen, to take time in the quiet to hear that voice of God whispering through the voice of a friend, through the voice of an inspirational reading, to the voice of the quiet inner wisdom that our daily mental chatter hides from us. I surrender. I step into the arms of the beloved, and I receive all that I need. And then I give back all that I am, so that with my heart open, I can give thanks and praise, and I surrender. I let my will become the will of love, of the beloved, from whom I cannot be separated, ever, unless I close myself up in that tiny little room that is my human mind, trying to figure everything out. I don't always like the answer that I hear. I don't always like the answer that I hear. But faith, that inner knowing that is steering me along, whether I like the answer or not, that helps me stay awake to the voice of God, however that voice is showing up, in challenge, in joy. That is the journey. So when we say we are a praying community, that's what we mean, I think. And we do have some beautiful prayer chaplains who are ready to sit with you after a service. If you have something that you're holding a high watch for and it feels like heavy lifting, they will sit with you. And in their presence, they will remind you that you are not holding the high watch alone. But that is true of everyone here, because that is the gift of community. We are not holding the high watch alone. Look around you. At home, look in the mirror even if you are home alone. Put your phone on selfie view so you can see yourself. You are not holding the high watch alone. You have beloved companions, some of whom you haven't met yet, who are holding that watch with you. So let's center in. Centering in for a moment. And letting your heart and your love and your soul go deeper. One of my spirit guides for years and years has been the poet Mark Nepo. I know he is familiar to many of you and has spoken here actually. He has a poem called Earth Prayer. And so I invite his wisdom into our wisdom this morning. As we hold the high watch for the world that we long to transform with our love, for all of those close to us and all of the beloveds everywhere, we say this prayer. O endless Creator, force of life, seat of the unconscious, Dharma, Atman, Ra, Kalb, dear center of our love, Christ-light, Yahweh, Allah, Mawu, Mother of the universe. Let us, when swimming with the stream, become the stream. Let us, when moving with the music, become the music. Let us, when rocking the wounded, become the suffering. Let us live deep enough till there is only one direction, and slow enough till there is only the beginning of time, and loud enough in our hearts till there is no need to speak. Let us live for the grace beneath all we want. Let us see it in everything and everyone till we admit to the mystery that when I look deep enough into you, I find me. And when you dare to hear my fear in the recess of your heart, you recognize it as your secret, which you thought no one else knew. Oh, let us embrace that unexpected moment of unity as the atom of God. Let us have the courage to hold each other when we break and worship what unfolds. O nameless Spirit that is not done with us, let us love without a net, beyond the fear of death, until the speck of peace which we guard so well becomes the world. May we hold that high watch with and for each other, always and in all ways. And so it is. Amen.